avoid it, enter somewhere else. But that brings with it the baggage that he at times overpromises and he at times exaggerates. It's also true, this is one of the things I wrote about understanding Trump that I think is helpful as a pattern. Trump always wants to negotiate down, not negotiate up. So he'll always set the initial term, you know, we're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. Okay. And then the Congress, it was great. They cut this deal with the Democrats to get the continuing resolution, and they can't build a concrete wall, which the Democrats thought they were being very clever. And the following day, after the Democrats claimed how clever they were, they released a picture of the steel wall. And they pointed out, you negotiate with Trump, you got to read the fine print, because this guy has done more contracts than all of Congress combined, and he knows how to negotiate.
Let's stay in the front over there.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker.
Good morning.
My name is Kwame Jamfi. I'm a software engineer, work at the federal agencies. My question is more along the line of whistleblowers. Sometimes when you're working in the agency, you're like light years away from the White House. Help me understand, from your perspective, a framework upon which software engineers like myself would work with this administration, given the animosity towards leakers, the cybersecurity issues that's out here floating around publicly. I represent an organization, it's called Federal Software Engineers and Data Scientists. We're about 350. And so I'm really curious. I wasn't going to even ask a question, but I just could not help but to get your opinion on this.
Two levels. First of all, I would hope your organization might come forward and offer specific advice on how we should be dealing with cybersecurity issues, because this goes back to Nassim Taleb. You actually know something about the topic. That'll be better than most of the guys at think tanks who know about the topic, but they don't know the topic. You actually know the topic. So if your group came up and said, here are 6 things or 8 things you ought to do, that'd be very helpful. And I think would be a step in the right direction. Second, I would hope that you would try to implement the laws of the United States as they relate to your job, and would focus on that and not worry about most of the noise. And then third, and I don't know if this affects you, but it affects a lot of federal employees, we have to rethink the current civil service rules, which operate in such a way that if you're totally incompetent, you still keep your job. And that just weighs, as you know. I mean, the people who love their job and want to come in early and want to work hard and are really excited really get drawn down. I talked to somebody who runs a small agency, who's actually probably a liberal Democrat. But she said in her small agency, she has one person who for 2 years has come in, put his head on the desk and slept for the entire day. She's actually taken pictures of him sleeping. And she has one person who's never come in 2 years. And she cannot get the HR department to fire the 2 people. Now, that's just crazy. And that lowers the morale of everybody else in the department. So that's a different zone, I think. And my advice is, obey the law, do your best to help serve America. I mean, it is a great privilege to be able to serve the United States of America. And I say this, I'm a guy who picks on the bureaucracy, et cetera, but I also understand that if you don't have people who care about the country and who work their hearts out, it ain't going to work. And so I'm glad you're here today. And if you do come up with 6 or 8 serious common sense steps, if you'll get them to me, I will personally put them in the White House. Okay?
Anybody